Hey, yo. Check it.
Welcome back, hero.
My word is my sword, Hokage and Batosai, pulling the blades out of the forge, yo. Prior to my knowledge of the Force, was thinking Jedi, but through obtaining holocrons from both sides, I'm under gray skies. Everything that glitter ain't kyber crystal, my mind to lift you. In this time we shine together, disarm your pistol, yo. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash.
Yo, we're back.
Drums. I got the drums.
Drums are back.
Hey.
Double. Nice.
Oh, I forgot to make it. So now the beat's gonna go like way longer than that. So we just gotta awkwardly just wait here for a minute.
Yep.
Yoga. Nine.
Beat's still a playing.
I literally went to the end of the whole song. Shit.
Hey man, it's all right.
All right, here we go.
Cause we're back.
Back on deck.
Back on deck. Somebody in the Discord informed me that this is indeed episode 70.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Who was that? Let's check. It's time for SwordCast. Shout out.
All right.
Ooh, was it? Also, again, man, shout out to the Discord. Join the Discord. I did post it. I'll post it again when the new episode drops.
A couple of new people joined too.
On Tuesday. Yeah, man, we had a couple of newbies in there now. So it's getting full. It's a good, again, like we always say, it is a fantastic community of people, and it's just cats are hilarious, good humor, good energy. Be in there sharing health facts.
Yeah, bro, we be in there activated, goddamn it.
Getting health activated and everything. So it's
somebody asked me to explain the history of like Cuban Miami's and Cuban and why they tend to vote Republican, and I like wrote a whole essay about that shit.
Oh man.
So yeah, it's a super wholesome. Like niggas are fucking happy and nice and goddamn friendly to each other and
right.
Like be giving real life advice and not any toxic shit. Like
seriously, man, zero toxic stuff. It was Drip Sensei, by the way. That's who informed us on the number. So shout out to you, bro. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
But yeah, man. Let's go. Episode 70. We're back. We had to take a week off, and we're back. So what are you into currently, my friend? Episode 70.
Yeah, man. I've been into a lot of stuff. But for the interest of time, I'll just focus on the thing that I've been mostly into, which is Warrior, bro.
Andrew Koji.
The Andrew Koji HBO Max joint, bro. Man, that shit. If I had to explain it, I would say so. It's based on Bruce Lee's writings. It's strongly believed that he would have like got it into like a script and he would have starred in it. But it's not that, Bruce Lee was very much a superhero, right? Like in all of his shows or in his movies, he was the man. Like he was the like pure North, like moral compass superhero, not smiling, but like, definitely not morally gray at all, just a straight up good guy. And he would never take, you ever notice Bruce Lee never take no damage in none of his movies except for like one or two? Enter the Dragon, he took a couple of hits. Return of the Dragon, he took a couple hits.
Couple.
That's kind of it, bro.
Yeah,
like
he was like untouchable.
He be taking low difficulty, zero damage speed runs of his movies, bro. Like, no problem. But in this show, I would have loved to see this. Just kind of a tragedy, man. Also, I learned that Bruce Lee was younger than both of us, I think, when he's younger than both of us. We're both older than him when he passed away at this moment, which is like,
that's insane.
Makes you kind of feel like, well, I'm a loser. So,
right.
Whoops. But it's another, just kind of a shame that we didn't get to see him in his character, because this is a really complicated character. Right. He's kind of an anti-hero, like a flat out gangster, right? Mm-hmm. So like takes place in San Francisco, and just after the Civil War, during the Gold Rush, or right after the Gold Rush, I think. And he plays a Chinese immigrant who's come over to America, but he joins a Chinese Tong, which is essentially a gang. And he's one of their hatchet men, which is basically like the muscle in the gang. And there's like a full-on gang war. It's like a gang drama between him and his sister, who has affiliations with another Tong. And it just kind of shows like their back and forth. And it's really like they be on some straight up gangster shit. Like, I mean, you can still tell like he's the hero. He's like a good in parentheses guy, but like niggas be doing crime and like catching bodies. Like niggas be passing away and committing murder and that shit. And it's it's a HBO Max joint, so it's pretty violent.
It's violent
on some like
Into the
Badlands type shit.
Yeah, bro. I
really
only
dope.
saw 2 episodes of it. I really have been wanting to watch it. I don't have HBO Max. I might have to get it just to watch this. Andrew Koji is also playing Storm Shadow in the Snake Eyes movie that's coming out. So super excited for that.
Yeah. I would say if I just had to describe it, I would say it's like The Wire and Enter the Dragon mixed together into one show. It's fire.
Sounds dope.
The only problem is that at this moment it's been canceled after a 2nd season, but there's like a petition going around right now to get his 3rd season and keep it and to pick it back up essentially.
Hopefully they do.
I mean, they did the same thing with The Expanse. The Expanse was canceled after 4 seasons. They picked it up for a 5th and a 6th. So if the fact that it was picked up by HBO Max is anything to go on, that's hope. So let's see what happens. What about you?
Boom. Oh man, I've been recently just went back and revisited Yu Hakusho, man, for the first time since I was like 12.
Right.
And I gotta say, man, just me revisiting the show now just really threw my top 5 favorite anime into disarray because I loved it. I thought it was. I liked it when I was younger, but I just appreciated it a lot more, and it's definitely. I thought it was amazing. It's such a good show, man. The characters, the fights, the sound, the music. Like the music is also fantastic. Like super top notch animation for the time that it came out in as well, and like so my understanding was always that people, obviously Dark Tournament, one of the arguably possibly the best like anime arc ever. It's so good, right? But the thing about Yu Yu Hakusho was always that, to my understanding was that Togashi, I think that's who made it. He's the same guy that wrote the Hunter x Hunter, and I believe that what was happening at the time was that because Yu Yu Hakusho was like out at the time that at the, like the height of the Dragon Ball, like pandemonium, right? Yeah. So I think that Shonen wanted him to make it more like Dragon Ball. So what he did was he tried to hurry up and just wrap it up before they could do that. You know what I'm saying? And if you watch the last arc, which is the Three Kings arc, it's super rushed. Like it's you could tell they rushed it. Like it was some bigger things kind of at play, and you can tell they just kind of sped it up and just wrapped it up so the show could end. And I know that, right? But there's a lot of people always say that the last arc sucks, but I don't think it's bad. You can tell it's rushed, but I still thought the show ended like on a perfect note. I thought the last arc like did what it had to do for the story. I thought it was fine. But yeah, bro, I love it. Definitely one of my all-time favorites. Hiei, definitely one of my favorite characters. That was amazing. I loved it. I watched it, and I definitely really, really gave me like a new appreciation for it. So yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho, man, one of the all-time greats. Love it. I could talk about it for the whole episode, but I'm not.
Yeah, because I haven't seen it in 20 years. So.
Yeah, show is amazing. Also, I told you, man, like it's weird because when you kind of are watching something, you're always curious to what other people think about it. So I like look up like, oh, what are the best fights, right? And I just don't be agreeing with some of, you know what I mean? Like with some of the lists. So it's like, that's why you always gotta revisit things for yourself.
Take off your nostalgia glasses and go back and rewatch the shit.
Yeah, man.
Because I mean, if your taste is the same as it was when you were 12, then that's a whole different problem.
Yeah.
When you go back and revisit something with like a refined understanding of culture and like what you like, you know what you like, you know what you don't. It's not unreasonable that you would enjoy some stuff better than you would. I mean, bro, it's the reason why when I was younger, I thought the difference between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z was like, oh, fuck, man. Dragon Ball Z is just crazy.
Yeah, 100%.
Bro, I went back and watched Dragon Ball. Like, wait a minute, bro. This shit way
better show.
Yeah, it's like, because I stopped, like, sure, the fights in Dragon Ball Z were, like, way crazier. But, like, as I've gotten older, I'm not going to say I still don't. Of course, I enjoy the fights, but, like, there are other things that I relate to more now, like the character development in Dragon Ball was just phenomenal, bro.
It was great.
It was so good. But
and the fights, I mean, and the fight choreography was, they definitely put more time into it.
It was different because it was like way more into the martial arts piece and less into like the fucking godly, like just so.
Oh, they're over there. They're over there.
Here,
Can't see them.
I'm about to throw my own guy under the bus. You know I love Broly. Broly's one of my favorite characters ever. But Broly kind of just a nigga that's just strong. And like, you know who Broly is? Broly is the dude that you play with on the basketball court that's like the football nigga. That's just athletic as hell. A really good defender, not because he knows what he's doing, just because he's just in the way.
Just in the way and
an
strong.
Excellent rebounder, just because he can just jump high and can like do all the sweet dunks.
Aggression.
But he can't hoop, really.
Yeah, no offensive.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of what Broly was. So like the point I guess I'm trying to make is that I imagine with something like Yu Hakusho, when you go back and rewatch it with a different perspective, it's like, oh, like these niggas was onto something.
Yeah, bro, 100%. It's such a great show, and I mean, while I'm talking about it, I got to keep talking about it. But like another thing, right? I told you before, I hate the word aesthetic, right? Because I feel like it's a word that people just use all the time, not necessarily understanding what it means. But the aesthetic of the show is what is like really special. Just the way it's animated, like the fashion, and that's not even something I care about, right? But just watching a shonen style, like long arc style show where the characters are like constantly in different outfits is so cool, and it's not something you see regularly. Like Yusuke,
gotta give it up to, I hate Bleach, but Bleach does that too.
Yeah,
or at least it did it in the beginning.
Like Yusuke is out here, you know, fighting in a white t-shirt and some tight, you know, some washed blue jeans and some sneakers, and
the blocky blue jeans from the 90s.
And there's just like just the way they animate, like there's a scene where he's like chasing this car and he's on a bicycle. You know what I'm saying?
I remember that. I do remember that.
It's fire.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I really loved it, man. I'm really glad I went back and revisited it because it definitely is kicking something out of my top 5, bro. Oh yeah. Also, man. So yeah, bro. This past weekend on Saturday, I competed in my first ever jiu-jitsu tournament.
Right.
And it was, I gotta say, man, I'm very proud of myself. I went 3-1. I made it to the final match. I lost in the gold. I lost on points in the gold match, and I ended up winning a bronze medal, my first ever tournament. I told you before, it's kind of confusing on how I got bronze instead of silver. It was like a point tiebreaker thing or something, but yeah, bro, it was awesome. It was pretty intense. I got there, you know, it was a pretty chaotic environment, so I just kind of sat off to the side with my teacher until it was just time for me to get ready. And like, you know, like we always talk about, I think that the most important thing that I've learned in life from martial arts is that it's never, life in general, like not just martial arts, right? Even I think kids that play sports really need to know this too, but just it's never about the other person. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like so many kids play basketball and they have no confidence because they like see some other kid that's like does something better than them, and then they like have no more confidence. But it's never about the other person. And one thing that you really get from martial arts, because it's an individual thing, is that it's always just about improving yourself and becoming the best version of yourself. And you being the best version of yourself can do things that you probably don't think you can do, right?
Nice.
So you know, just I've learned that a while ago. So one thing I did was I didn't really watch any other matches. You know what I mean? I just kind of stayed to myself until it was time for me to go. And then, you know, and I was trying to, you know, stay calm and keep my adrenaline down, because I don't want to get too, you know, because I'm good at being really calm, you know, when I'm doing jiu-jitsu. So, and then, you know, my first match started, and I was able to stay calm. And then, you know, I was just kind of like, I forgot I know how to do this.
I don't know how to do this stuff.
Yeah, so, you know, I won my first match, but after my first match, and it's weird, because people who don't do jiu-jitsu won't really know what I'm talking about. But after my first match, my grips were just fried completely. Like, you know, it's because I do gi, right? I was doing gi matches, so there's so much grabbing, and my fingers and my wrist and my forearms are just fried completely. I couldn't even, and so I came off, and, you know, my two professors, that's what they call them in jiu-jitsu.
That's fire. I love
that. And they were just like, let me see your arms, man. Let me see your arms. And they're just like, I already know they're fried, aren't they? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like massaging my hands. And I'm like, all right, well, you got 3 more matches.
Right, this is how it is from now on.
I'm like, all right. So then it's like, it was a round. It was weird, because it was a round robin tournament, so I had to go against everybody in my bracket. So I won my first match, and then went out, grips fried, won the second match, and then had a little rest, grips fried. You know what I'm saying? And then what happened was, I went the third match. This is the guy who won silver. I beat him, the guy who got silver, in the third match, and then I went to the gold match. But the thing that killed me was I had to do that match right back to back, and the guy who ended up winning the gold, he had like a 2-match rest, and I had to go like 2 in a row. You know what I'm saying? So by the time, I was just completely dead, and he beat me on points. And even after, you know, he hugged me, and he was just like, I already knew you were dead, bro. Like, I was like, yeah, I didn't, and it's a weird feeling, because it's not like a cardio thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you have nothing in your...
Right. It's like your muscles are... Yeah. Muscle failure.
Yeah, literally. and there was... I told you when I got here, I had a chance to... I had a pretty good shot at getting a guillotine choke, and I just couldn't do it, because my grips were just completely fried and were failing me.
Right.
But
it's almost like you're in a dream, and like you are trying to punch somebody, and you just
and like you really gotta surpass your limits, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I tried, and I just couldn't do it. But I'm super proud, man. My masters are really proud of me, man. They're just like, yo, some cats don't even compete because they're too scared to do it, or, you know, some cats compete a lot, and it takes them like years to place and win a medal. So I was really proud, man. It was dope.
the big question is there more in the future?
100%. I got to get gold, bro. I have to. So I'm definitely gonna be doing it probably in the next couple months. I gotta try to get me a gold, man. But it was dope. I mean, the one thing that I would it's different from training is it's just the intensity level. Like, there's no let up. Like, the guys are going 100% the entire time, like, trying to kill you. It's not no let up at all. So that's the only difference. But it was awesome, man. It was a good. I'm proud. It was a good experience, dog.
That's what's up, man. Boom. Well, congratulations. More to come.
Yeah, man. So yeah, bro. First jiu-jitsu tournament in the books. And then my Wayne, one of my professors, he texted me, and he was like, man, you deserve it. He's like, stop eating healthy. He's like, eat some unhealthy. Because I was like the last couple of days, like, leading up to it. Well, I was training for like really hard for like 2 weeks, and I just I didn't, bro. I haven't eaten anything outside of like
Super
strict. Yeah. So he was like, man, eat some unhealthy. Like you deserve it. Like take next couple days off. So I definitely. What do you think I ate? Come on, dog.
Pizza.
Come on, let's go.
Pizza. Maybe some wings or something.
Let's go.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro. So, so let's keep it going, man.
Well, here, hold on. I'd like to tell you guys about my athletic achievement. I bought a treadmill for $1 infinity million, and I ran a mile.
Let's go.
No, that's not.
Treadmills they're tough.
They are. It's boring.
Running and not going anywhere. So
I ran it pretty easily because before it got cold, I was running regularly.
Mm-hmm.
But. So a funny thing happened. So two things. I flat out went and bought a $100 Amazon tablet, literally just so I can put it on the treadmill and watch something while I'm running because it's just so fucking boring.
You know what I used to do, which you might. I used to watch wrestling matches while I ran,
bro. So what I was doing was watching Dr. Stone.
Okay.
It's like 24 minutes.
Yeah,
which is like,
I used to just watch real sweet wrestling matches while I was running at the gym.
That's enough for me to run like 2 miles.
Yep.
And in about 24 minutes, maybe a little more. But anyways, the point I'm trying to make is that like once I ran a mile, I did it kind of easily. I'm like, all right, like I thought I was gonna die, but I got off and it was like, oh, it's actually fine.
Right.
Then, about an hour or two later, my body was like, oh yeah, nigga, you ain't did no physical activity for like 6 months. So, nigga. Everything just broke at the same time, dog.
The actual thing that the activated meme is from.
Right. Now my whole body just exploded, bro. I'm still like hurt. Like I'm not just sore. Like I'm like injured type shit. Bro. Like that shit flat out is like
ouch,
really uncomfortable. But it's one of those things where it's gonna feel like that until you just run through it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
starting again tomorrow morning.
Let's go. Boom. Keep it up. So yeah, man, wrestling recap. We were off last week. A lot has happened in the wrestling world, man. For all my fellow wrestling fans, we had the Royal Rumble. Bianca Belair won the female Royal Rumble. I don't know if you guys remember, but last time we had an episode, I gave my Royal Rumble prediction and I was right.
Boom.
About Bianca Belair winning. That's awesome. I never thought it would happen in a million years. She's super dope. She deserves it.
Absolutely.
And then the male Royal Rumble was won by Edge.
Who the fuck is like? Who cares, bro? Like,
I mean,
old guy. So I saw a tweet.
Edge he just reminds me of an old crazy man.
He's just a crazy old man, dog. He's just a crazy old coot. Just sort of, get off my lawn. Like he's just gonna fucking pull out a long shotgun. And,
if you pull in his driveway to turn around,
we don't like your kind around here, boy.
He does. He just looks like a crazy kook.
This is a crazy old man, bro. Like get the fuck on somewhere. I think I've not been watching WWE.
I don't.
Didn't they bring Christian back too?
He was in the Royal Rumble too. Yeah, the men's Royal Rumble I thought was pretty whack. I didn't really like it. The women's Royal Rumble was really dope.
Back to wrestle.
They probably did.
So fucking annoying.
But I mean, the only thing I could think of was I was kind of thinking maybe Keith Lee was gonna win, and then I know that he had like COVID restrictions, so he couldn't be in the Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. So maybe they pivoted to something.
That would have been way better.
Yeah, so maybe they pivoted, but I don't know. What? 2 niggers won in the Royal Rumble? No.
We gave you 2 Japs a few years ago. When Shinsuke and Asuka won.
Oh, that was so good.
And then they completely wasted Shinsuke.
They completely blew Shinsuke, but now he's like kind of back to being dope.
Is he?
Yeah.
What is he doing now?
He's got his old theme back. He's like babyface. He had a fire match with I think Daniel Bryan not too long ago.
Is he not a tag team anymore?
Nah, he's doing his thing, so that's dope to see. But
did he turn face or did they just rolled him back out again and was like, all right?
They just kind of, yeah.
I mean, I'm glad, but I kind of like. I don't like it when they do that
Shinsuke's
shit.
a legend, man. Come on now.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro. But let's get to the real wrestling business, man.
Hey.
The forbidden door in pro wrestling is officially been cracked open. We got AEW. We got Kenny Omega, AEW champion, showing up on Impact. We got Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows from Impact showing up on AEW, doing the Bullet Club thing with Kenny. We've been had the Impact AEW thing going back and forth. But then on Dynamite last week, at the end of an awesome main event, it was what was it? It was Kenny Omega, Gallows and Anderson versus
Moxley.
Pac, John Moxley, and
Lance Archer. Was it?
Maybe
I think that was next.
That was this. I'm so mad because I don't. Was it Phoenix? It might have been Phoenix.
Yes,
it might have been
was.
Pac, Phoenix, and Moxley.
It was. Yeah.
But yo, match was fire. But then when the match is over, a masked guy comes and attacks Moxley, and it's freaking Kenta from New Japan.
Let's go, dog.
If there would have been a crowd there, it would have been nuts. I was pretty hype about that. Then we start reading into some online stuff, and there's an actual partnership thing going on. So then we see Kenta show up again this week, and then we get the last episode of Dynamite. Then we had Kenta and Omega versus Lance Archer and Moxley. So now there's something there. And if you don't know, Moxley is actually the current IWGP United States champion still. Kenta has like the challenging rights to challenge him, so that's why he was there. It was awesome. I mean, this is something we've been wanting forever.
Forever, bro.
And
like if they could potentially,
bro. There's so much. There's so much here that we could potentially get. Like I'm kind of my dream is that like Omega just goes on this like belt collecting quest, like kind of like Thanos. He just pops up, and I know it would take so much from other promotions to like trust in him and be good with him doing this, but like I think he should go to Impact. He should win the Impact title. So then he has the AEW title, the Impact title, and he's the AAA champion too.
Mexico.
Yeah. Then he should go to New Japan, bro, and he should win the IWGP title again, and he should be all these champions, and then they should do like G1 Supercard was a couple years ago where it was like New Japan and Ring of Honor. Then they do like a New Japan AEW version. Come on, bro. It would be so sick.
I hope what they do is, and I kind of feel sorry for Ring of Honor because I think that might have been the final nail in their coffin.
Yeah, and I mean, they have good talent there though. Like they got Dragon Lee, they got Bandito, they got Roosh. Like they have good, dope wrestlers there still. I don't know, man. It's just.
I mean, their partnership with New Japan.
It's over. Yeah, it's a wrap.
Right, and now it's like okay, so now AEW is potentially filling that role of like the like American face that New Japan can kind of infiltrate from, and that. But so in a dream scenario, like if New Japan got an American show, which I think they are working on, could we?
Well, they have like Lions Break. It's like a American show. It's not like big or anything, but it's on New Japan World. You could watch it, but it's none of the like big name guys. Yeah.
I heard that they were working on like a weekly show, like along the same lines as AEW.
See, the crazy thing is like I don't know if I would want that for them.
Yeah,
because I love New Japan's my favorite promotion, and I just love how. It's just so different, bro. Like it's just they have like big events, and then they pop up and you just kind of watch them and anticipate. You know, they don't have like a weekly thing going on, so I kind of like that.
Well, in my mind, I think the weekly thing could be cool. You could do the same thing. You could have like maybe you only see Tanahashi like once a month.
See, that's what they need to do because. Yeah. Part of why,
and you can get some of the young dogs, some of the young lions in.
Because part of why, like part of when Shinsuke came over, right, and see, part of the reason why New Japan is so dope is because you don't see these guys wrestle so much. Right. So like every time you see them, the matches are like amazing, and then you don't see them again for like a month. You know what I'm saying? Then they have another event. You're excited to see it. The matches are amazing. Then you don't have another event for like a month, and then you see them. You know what I'm saying? So. It like keeps that that element where they're not constantly in your face and you're not like getting sick of seeing the same people, which is I think what happens over here. But yeah, bro. So
I think AEW does a good job with that though. Like,
they do,
because like Kenny Omega doesn't wrestle. He wrestles like once or twice a month,
and that's what it needs to be.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's how you keep your
like Darby Allin. Like I didn't like it when Kobe when Cody was doing the every week.
Yeah, and I can't
title.
stand him either. So it was
like Darby. You see him often, but you don't see him wrestle but like once or twice a month. You know what I'm saying? Even like one of the workhorses like Jungle Boy, he doesn't wrestle every week either. Like I love the way that they cycle in. Like,
yeah,
Jungle Boy's wrestling this week.
That's super smart. That's what you got to do to keep those guys fresh and exciting. So I'm down with
Whereas
that.
in
for sure.
WWE, like there was a time where AJ Styles,
WWE is just.
Bro, it was
Here, take it.
It's worse because there was a moment where like AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura would literally wrestle each other every.
Bro, that's what they do. Like they find a feud and they just beat it into the ground until you're sick of it.
This shit.
Then by the time the pay-per-view comes, you're like, you don't even want to see them wrestle because they done been involved with each other so much.
They do all the same spots and shit.
Trash. And then last wrestling thing, New Japan had New Beginning. Their pay-per-view last week. It was fire, of course. I watched it. Bushi beat Sonata. He's still double champ. But the big thing, after Naito comes out, challenges Ibushi, but only for the Intercontinental Championship. Here we go, New Japan.
Back to that same story.
New Japan, GOAT level long-term storytelling. I'm about to just run through it real quick. Naito hates the Intercontinental belt because at Wrestle Kingdom 8, he won G1 and he was supposed to main event Wrestle Kingdom 8 against Okada for the title, but the fans voted and they wanted to see Shinsuke Nakamura versus Tanahashi in the main event at Wrestle Kingdom 8, and it was for the Intercontinental Championship. So he's always hated that belt. When he won it, he treated it like crap a couple years ago. He's like throwing it in the air, was breaking the plates off of it and stuff. So he hates that belt. Then the whole thing that happened at Wrestle Kingdom 14 a couple years ago, was that he needed that belt because they did like the double title thing. So he actually had to win that one to challenge for the championship. So then he had to get the belt that he hated to get the one that he wanted the most. So then he wins both titles at Wrestle Kingdom 14. Then Wrestle Kingdom 15, he loses to Ibushi. Ibushi's the new double champion this year. He comes out and only challenges for the Intercontinental belt because Ibushi wants to unify the titles and only have one belt. So now he's basically like, I got to save the belt that I hate because I don't want it to be unified.
Right.
Fire.
That's dope.
And then, you know what else would be dope is if he main evented Wrestle Kingdom with that belt over the IWGP World title.
Shit. Yeah,
and you know what I want? All right, I'm just going to put it in the air. It's not going to happen. My dream scenario, dog, is that Shinsuke doesn't sign back with WWE.
Oh, that would be perfect.
And he comes back and challenges for the Intercontinental belt, and that would be the main event at the next Wrestle Kingdom.
Just
Shinsuke versus
bring the whole
Naito.
thing full circle. That'd be fire, bro. I want that. I would want that too.
And Shinsuke is the guy who like elevated that title too. Like, oh my God, I would cry if that happened.
Let's go.
Fantasy booking. All right, bro. Let's go. It's time. It's time to do our.
Shit.
It's time to visit our Wanda. We got like double WandaVision visceral vaccination vintage volcano virus. Yeah, we got to talk about 2 episodes, man. So
I'm gonna let you go ahead.
let's.
Bro.
All right, man. I mean, so which episodes did we last talked about 4, right?
Yes. So
4 was the one where we got to see the snap.
Yep.
And we got to see kind of the chaos that happened with folks just like popping up and.
Yep.
Right, that was dope.
So now we're on episode 5 and 6.
Right. So, all right, I'm gonna keep it real, man. Episode 5 was my favorite one so far.
I'm telling you.
I mean, just get the.
Which one? What
get
you
the
need?
piano. Get the piano ready. Let's just get this out the way.
Sorry,
first.
wrong piano. The piano. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. Stand by for just a second.
No. Yeah.
Let's get our sad piano, bro.
I messed up.
It's time Commercial. Hey, buy a Motorola phone.
Buy this.
All right, we go.
All right, man. You know, I just thought I knew everything. I wanted air combos, and you were serving up knowledge, sweaty knowledge. I was unaccepting of that knowledge. Why are there no punches? Why are there no kicks? Where are the kicks at, hero? I wanted action, but you were giving me something bigger. I didn't see the bigger picture. But then, you know, I was, what is this, the Brady Bunch? Partridge Family? What are we doing here? But now I see the bigger picture, and I see what I was missing. Yeah. I'm talking to you, WandaVision.
Hey!
I was wrong about you. And I'm sorry.
Hey, man. Hey, man, look, bro. I ain't mad at you, dog. I ain't mad at you, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I tried to gently, like, hey, man, like, sure you don't want to give it another shot because shit fucked around and got fired, dog.
Hey, I mean, this is the sweatiest thing Marvel's ever done.
Yes,
and I'm on board. I just admitted my wrongs, but I love the like. It's if you don't have comic book knowledge,
you got no shot.
You got no shot at getting this show or understanding everything that's being put in you. You can watch it surface level and just kind of watch it for what you see, but if you know what this show is and what's going on and the constant, like, it's just a cesspool of Easter eggs and like teasers and all these different things. And if you watch it the way it's supposed to be watched, like like I said, it's the sweatiest thing that they've done.
Right.
Ever.
I mean, in terms of just like Easter egg after Easter egg after Easter egg, and just like, and not only that. So this is one of the takes I wanted to talk about. Not only are there just crazy amounts of Easter eggs, I think there's a couple of pump fakes in here too, bro.
Oh.
I think there's a couple of pump
100%.
fakes.
100%. There's pump fakes. There's Easter eggs. There's so much. But like we were talking about, episode 5, definitely my favorite episode so far. Really got to see things start to come to a head a little bit, but also pump fakes, right? Like you still there's theories, you can have your theories, but you still can't totally pinpoint, you know what I mean? Like who's really pulling the strings and things like that. But I loved episode 5. I thought I'm also sneaky loving the generational jump in the TV shows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Episode 6 was that with the Malcolm in the middle shit.
Style.
Yeah, I thought that was really
I'm really loving the jump in those. And but yeah, episode 5. I really loved it. You got to see Wanda get kind of angry and really show. And one thing that I really loved about episode 5 is, which you were right. You were kind of the one who said on here the Monica Rambeau thing, and you were right about that. So that was dope. And but I just really liked how in episode 5, Monica Rambeau just straight up acknowledges the fact that Wanda totally could have beat Thanos by herself.
Right, bro. Yep.
And she straight up comes out and she just says it, because you got to remember, these people, the only person that knows how powerful Wanda is her. Mm-hmm. Nobody else knows.
And she doesn't even know.
And she doesn't even know.
Yeah.
And then we start seeing, like, she's manipulating stuff in this bubble, but she's manipulating, those things are coming into reality too, like with the outfit that she had on, right? So, like, bro, she's so strong that she can literally change reality. Like, they
are fleshing out her reality warping powers.
Yeah.
Outright.
And they're doing it in such a good way. And I just really liked when Monica Rambeau said that, when she completely acknowledged, which is what we all know, most of us, is that she could have easily killed Thanos if she knew what she was doing, if she wanted to, you know what I'm saying? So I thought that was dope.
So I know you're not a big Fox guy, right? I know you're not a big Fox X-Men guy.
Yeah.
However, I mean, we can't not talk about the reveal of the Fox version of fucking Quicksilver at the end of that shit, bro. Like, okay, I'll tell you when that first happened, they were well done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Well done by Jon Favreau, whoever directed this. I think it's Favreau.
I think it's Feige.
Is it the director? I thought he was just a producer.
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
Whoever Marvel, good job, right?
Marvel.
Like, so it's not Favreau. It's not Favreau. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking of the Mandalorian. Whoever directed it, just well done, because they had done a really good job of like planting the seed of like, we're gonna bring Pietro back. Like, kids were talking about her. You know, she had mentioned that she had a brother and like that he had passed away, and you know they were talking about bringing people back to life. So we're like, all right, cool. All right, big reveal. It's gonna be Pietro. Then they was like, wait a minute.
Then they hit you with the shot fake, the little rondo behind the back pass fake.
Which Pietro?
So
and then, do you remember we bought Fox? Now, remember, nigga, the house mouse, the mouse house, goddammit. So yeah, okay. So that was masterfully done. I will genuinely admit I did not see that coming. It caught me completely by surprise.
Completely off guard.
Even up to the point where they showed the back of his head, I was like, okay, cool. They bringing Pietro back. That's pretty cool. And they turned around. I said, I'm sorry. Is that the Fox
version? Right.
Okay. Well done.
I thought it was very, very dope.
Here's the thing, though, and this is I have to kind of slow down a little bit. Not so fast, right?
Right.
I think that's a pump fake, bro.
Yeah.
I don't think that this is. So there's so many different ways you can think about it. Like, did she pluck this version of Quicksilver from another universe? Maybe.
Or somebody else.
Or somebody else did it.
Or somebody else do it. Some of these characters that are popping up are seeming like they're in on something that not even Wanda is in on, right?
For sure.
And that's kind of the vibe I get from Quicksilver, right? So we already know. So just to, we talked about episode 5 a little bit. So kind of on episode 6 right now, her brother's here. It's Halloween. You know what I'm saying? And what you start to see is that these Vision is already Vision knows what's up, and he's trying to find out a way to save people and fix it, right? We also know now that Wanda has like went and got his body and pretty much used her powers to bring him back to life.
Yep.
Which is absolutely
crazy,
nuts. Right. And then we now know that there's even more of this. There's even more area that Wanda has stretched her powers out to.
Yep.
And we're seeing people that she's not even controlling them. She's just like
she just has them.
Yeah,
right?
she just kind of like has them frozen in place and controlling them. They can't and I thought a dope touch was like the one lady, she's like just standing there, but you can see tears coming out of her eyes, right?
Which suggests that she's conscious at some level.
Yeah. And then we see Vision. He's trying to figure out what's going on. He kind of goes to the edge of the town where Wanda tells the boys, not to go to.
Right. Yep.
Now, I don't know. Is there any significance in the street name? I don't know if there is or not.
I saw a theory that said that it had something to do with like Senator Ellis, or President Ellis, who's some. No. So basically, no.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I was just asking if you knew.
we did see Agnes there.
Yeah.
So here's so here's what I thought happened there, as I think that was a pump fake of a pump fake, right?
Okay.
So the one really big theory is that Agnes is Agatha Harkness, which is the witch that was the actual witch who was in the comic book, who was one of Wanda's mentors, and who is a servant of Mephisto, right?
Right.
I still think Mephisto is a big bad, but I got another theory.
I do too, but I would like to hear what yours is.
So when you saw Agatha there, we all thought that she was in on it, but you saw she was acting like she wasn't.
Yeah.
I think that was a pump fake of a pump fake. I think she was doing a little acting Either that or like the entire Agatha thing. Either she was doing
just
some
a
acting,
gigantic pump fake,
or the whole thing was just a crossover. The whole thing, which I wouldn't put it past them, right? Because they know how we think about this shit.
crossover.
Right? That just set us up like 6 episodes later, which is equally possible. So in terms of the Mephisto theory, I mean, so like it's becoming obvious that they are building up the general to be somebody, right?
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if the general isn't, and I can't remember his name, because there's the emphasis of the hex, right? So there's the one scene where you see in his office, he's got a hexagonal shape of all of his plaques or whatever.
And that's what they're calling, referring
powers,
to the
area.
Yeah, the area that she's created.
So I'm wondering if he's clearly in on it. So there's some theories that he could be a Kree or a Skrull. There's theories that he could be Mephisto. I don't know, but it's clear that he is in on something.
Kree would be dope, especially considering Sword being so heavily involved. That would be dope.
Yep.
The theory that I kind of have formed myself, which I don't know if it's right or not, but I'm kind of thinking, looking at it. So I mean, in episode 6, I thought the dopest thing was, so at the end of episode 6, we just explained everything that happened. Then we see him run into the neighbor, who we think is Agatha
Harkness.
And she's dressed like a witch, right?
Straight
for
up,
Halloween. Straight up dressed like a witch.
It was kind of on the nose a little bit.
It was, yeah. So now we're like, oh, but then she was acting like she was, under control. So we don't know if she was just acting or what. So that was another dope, little.
Marvel clearly is fucking with. They know that we are onto them, and they kind of throw us off the scent.
Yeah, they know what's up. So that was cool. But then we see Vision try to actually escape the bubble, right? And it's like killing him, trying to suck him back in.
Yeah.
And it's Wanda, right? Wanda closes her eyes, she finds him, and she's doing this. Crazy powerful. But then the dopest thing about this episode is that we start seeing that she can expand this thing, meaning that, bro, she could control the entire world if she wanted to.
Bro, there's some versions of Wanda Maximoff that's like a universal level reality world.
Yeah, for sure.
Like she's really fucking powerful.
And
she's still not more powerful than the motherfucking White Phoenix to the Crown. Y'all need to stop doing that shit. Jean Grey with the fucking Phoenix would wipe the floor with Wanda Maximoff. Stop playing. That is not to say that she's not powerful, but let's put some respect on the Queen's name. God damn it, White Phoenix of the Crown. Telling you.
So real quick, let me just get into. So we see that she can expand it. Then we start seeing things get caught up in it, and they just end up like fitting in with what she has going on in there. So one thing I was thinking
take
is,
a little hit of cocaine, right?
Take a hit of Marvel cocaine. So then I'm kind of thinking like going back to maybe going back to the thing where like are some people being planted here, like her brother, right? Because they have a little moment where Wanda's kind of like
trying to test him. Yeah,
and she's like testing him. She's asking him questions, and he's just and he's like kind of deflecting him a little bit. But you can tell that she's looking at him. In my opinion, she's kind of looking at him like, this isn't what I was thinking. So where did you come from, and who are you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that there's somebody else, Mephisto, possibly doing this, right? And then I'm thinking Wanda starts expanding the thing. So what if the only way Mephisto can be brung into the physical world is if he's brung in through this dome, and he can't be brung in outside of it? So maybe them getting her to expand it is just another way,
another ploy. Yeah. I'm with that. I'm with that, man. Look, there's so much you can do here. So with the Pietro thing, right? I want very much for Wanda to have straight up reached into the Foxverse, the X-Men verse, and brought in Pietro. That would be fire. Unfortunately, I don't think that's what's happening. I think that was like a little like, hey,
right. But let's also like that's the better thing to do is us to get mutants through this and not through some more string of origin films where we have to.
Hold on a second. I agree, but I agree with a caveat. what I would hate, and I've been hearing, bro, this would drive me crazy if this actually happened. We need to get mutants through okay, so let me just make the first point first. What I do think the Pietro thing was that we are closer to the X-Men than we've led y'all to believe.
Yeah.
Like, I think, because, Feige's been saying all kind of shit, like, oh, like, we don't know yet. We don't, them niggas know.
Yeah.
And I think it's happening sooner than we think.
Right.
However, this would drive me crazy. I've seen a lot of theories that suggest that the expanding of because you remember how Monica Rambeau, it fucked up her DNA.
Yeah.
And it changed her. If that's how we get mutants, I'm gonna fucking shit my pants.
Yeah, that would be whack.
I'm gonna shit my pants, bro, because
I don't want that. That's not what I'm saying.
Hell, bro,
I'm talking more so of like a multiverse type of thing.
Her and Doctor Strange I need to see. Okay, I will be satisfied if during the events of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, we see definitive proof. Like, all right, that's where they getting the mutants from.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this exists, right?
Yeah.
And I think it will. I think it kind of has to at this point. I think that was the purpose of the Pietro Easter egg, was like, we can do this now if we wanted to.
Right.
And I think they will.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they do this thing where they like have Wanda create mutants through going through the membrane, that would drive me crazy, because
I wouldn't like that either.
You need to have them already existed.
I agree.
You gotta have an old and like kind of like grizzled veteran.
Yeah, it would be
both
like
Professor X and Magneto.
House of M thing, kind of.
Yeah, and like that's cute and all, but like no, bro. Like it destroys the characters of Magneto and Professor X if they are not like. The whole point is that they were like a generation before the X-Men. They have had these experiences that have like allowed them to arrive at where they are now, and like influences how they're going to carry out their arcs, right? Like it requires that they have to have lived as mutants for years. The only way that this is going to make sense is if you time skip 100 years into the future, which would be ridiculous. Yeah. You got to just have a situation where there is a universe where mutants have always existed, and now we're going to merge these universes together. Right. If it doesn't happen like that, and that's so easy, bro. Marvel, there it is. It's easy. You ain't got to explain nothing. They've already existed. Right. You can even use, to a certain extent, some of the stuff that's already been set up in the Fox universe. You can use some of it. You own the shit now, so
right.
Let's not overthink this shit, Fox or Marvel.
I agree. Man. So right now, if we were to do some like official WandaVision power rankings of the episodes that we could kind of agree on and just alter them as more episodes come out. What's your number one?
My number one is episode 5.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Number one for me as well is episode 5. So that's going to be our number one in our WandaVision power rankings. What is your number 2?
Number 2 would be episode 4.
Oh, me too. Yep. Look at us agreeing on 2.
Yep.
Nice. Episode 4 would also be my number 2. Obviously got the snap. Everything with Monica Rambeau come into play, so I agree. What's your number 3?
Number 3 will be number 6.
Let's go. 6. We might have all the same ones.
Well, I'm gonna kind of cheat on the next 3 are all kind of the same.
No time for my shit. No, I agree.
They're all kind of the same.
They're all kind of the same level.
If I had
the show has obviously progressed as it's
right, and this was the point, bro. Like somebody wrote a really, I think Edmund probably posted it. All of the memes that we see, usually Edmund is the one that posted it. But like somebody, and they're right. I wanted to hate on them, but I think they're right. Like they said, WandaVision doesn't suck. Y'all niggas just forgot how to watch TV. Right. Which is like totally true, bro. Like you got to just wait for them niggas to build the story up. Like chill, just relax for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
So I agree, man. And I already admitted to my faults.
But okay, wait a minute. I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but here's what I think is gonna happen, bro. I can't shake the feeling that maybe did Disney Plus use up all of their sweet shows already, and by proxy is like Falcon
and Winter Soldier
gonna be trash. I don't think it's gonna be trash. I don't think it's gonna rate as high as Wanda did, because I think people are now like, ooh, like something new. And then,
well, I'm gonna go back on what I originally said, where I said where I was kind of questioning, like, people were so hungry for some Marvel stuff. Like, I don't know if this was the right. Like, I already done went back and I already did. I was wrong about you.
Yeah.
So, but I do now think that this was perfect because now.
Oh, now it builds the appetite back up.
But now you can throw the like. So you got the sweaty, like, really got to have some like concrete Marvel knowledge to know what the heck is going on show out there. Then you can throw out the action,
right? Because
everybody's gonna watch that.
Yeah,
you know
like
what I'm saying?
you can already tell Falcon and the Winter Soldier is about to be hands and feet all fucking day.
and that's what you can do now, right? And that people will be satisfied with it because they got the crazy, the big time, like one that's did all the lore building and everything in the other show. So I think
would be right, cool. Man. I like because I think I
would like to see a good Zemo in that show.
Yeah, his costume looks sweet.
It looks sweet, but come on, man. Zemo can scrap, and the guy who they had that's.
Yeah, no, that's just a wrap on
They're
that.
They're not doing that.
Yeah, no. His outfit looks comic accurate.
It looks dope, but I would like to see Zemo throw some hands. I would also like to see Red Skull in this show. But
I think Red Skull's still on.
Oh, he's still I forgot.
The Soul Gem.
I forgot about that. Yeah, he's
on Volmir. Or whatever.
He's out there
just wandering around.
Bruh, I saw. Oh my goodness! I saw a thing. It was a meme, and it said Black Widow's dropping in theaters on this day. And then somebody posted the picture of getting sacrificed for the Soul Stone, and it said Black Widow dropped on theaters on this day a couple years ago.
That sucks.
Horrible. So yeah, man, there you have it. That's our WandaVision power rankings.
Boom.
I wonder I'm sure they'll change. I'm sure they'll just keep getting better.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I was wrong about it, and I have admitted it.
Let's go.
Hey, man, moving on. I want to know, getting back to some anime stuff here. Mm-hmm. What is the last anime fight you saw that blew you away? And I don't want it to be an old show.
Right,
I want it to be like a newer show that you watched or something that you saw recently.
So, I rewatched Demon Slayer, like the fight against... The one that was gift a million times, the fight against the
spider guy.
The spider, and with like the brother sister tornado fucking cyclone,
tornado of death.
Right. Cyclone of fire and red energy. That was pretty cool. But I mean, the fight itself was good, but it was really just that moment. It was crazy epic. But in terms of a fight that really blew me away, man, dog, I'm telling you, bro, Fire Force got hella dope ass fights, dog.
I gotta watch it, man.
So the one I showed you a clip of this one was
my man threw the flying armbar on,
bro. So he got that. So it's Rekka versus I can't think of the main character's name now. Shinra versus Rekka, which is kind of a dope. So that's a spoiler. I was getting ready to tell a giant spoiler, but anyways. Rekka is a dope title because it's definitely a Easter egg for remember Flame of Rekka?
Yeah.
It's definitely like a Easter egg to that. But anyways, Shinra versus Rekka in Fire Force Season 1. I mean, there are some crazy moments in that fight.
Okay.
And one in particular, this nigga does a flying triangle and puts this nigga in a fucking armbar.
Fire.
A flaming armbar, bro.
Flame of Rekka, that's a deep cut, man.
That's a 90s boy.
I saw that when I was in 10th grade.
And of course, y'all already know how I feel, man.
Yo, I kind of want to watch that now.
Y'all got to put some respect on Queen Mother Yoko Kanno's name because she did. Anytime you hear a sweet theme, it was her. I promise. Every single time. 9 times out of 10, it was her. So Flame of Rekka had an amazing intro.
That was a dope. Maybe that will be the next. I've been revisiting all my old 90s.
Flame of Rekka,
anime.
Vision of Escaflown. That was cold as hell too. I mentioned Record of Lotus War.
Record of Lotus War.
And
kind of a sweaty, like little Middle Earth
kind of Game of Thrones for kids-y kind of thing. And bro, I'm such a music sweaty that literally all 3 of those suggestions all were composed by Yoko Kanno. Every single one of them. She's so fucking dope. I mean, she's literally one of the greatest musicians ever. Like, regardless of genre, regardless of composer or not, she's just a fucking boss. Anyways.
Agreed.
Yeah, so my vote would be Rekka versus Shinra. with the flaming fucking arm bar, which was even worse because like his power is that he can shoot flames out of his feet. So like he had his legs like wrapped around his head and was just burning
Shooting
his niggas
fire
to death while he had him in a triangle the whole time.
That is just fire. That's awesome.
I guess it wasn't quite a triangle because his head wasn't in it, but it was still
it's like an arm bar.
Yeah,
it's dope, man. So mine would be, I'll probably have to say the end fight from the Demon Slayer movie. I know a lot of people haven't seen it because it hasn't came out over here yet, but Kyojiro, who is like the Flame Hashira, he's the dude with the flaming hair, and so what happens in that movie is, I'm not gonna spoil it, so I don't want to spoil it, but just
y'all heard this nigga just say
I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not, but he fights a very powerful demon at the end of that movie, and it is amazing.
Yeah, he's got a sweet ass character design.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's so good. And just like for people who haven't read the Demon Slayer manga, like all these strong demons that we're seeing in season 1, none of them are Upper Moon demons. None of them. The only you see your first Upper Moon demon at the end of the movie. You don't even see.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like they're ridiculous. Like they're ridiculously powerful. So I'd have to say Kyojiro versus the Upper Moon demon from the Demon Slayer Infinity Train movie, if it ever comes out in the United States, bro. That movie is the #1 movie like ever.
Right in Japan, yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Demon Slayer is really a solid ass anime, bro.
It's like, fire.
It's more than just like the next joint.
Very
like,
good.
Bro, it kind of does everything right, man. It has a nice
pacing,
little compact, like 4 or 5 guys that you got to follow.
Good pacing, good like. One thing that Yu Hakusho does that I think is so good is if you watch a Yu Hakusho, they'll be like, oh man, in 3 months, man, he's got to be. And then the next episode, it'll just be 3 months later. Yeah. They don't bullshit. Do the whole, oh man, I only got 2 months and 14 days until, like, nah,
looking
bro.
At 2 Dragon Ball Z.
They just kind of be like, oh man, I can't believe it's been 3 months.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm strong now. I did all the work. You didn't have to watch me do it. Fucking assholes. Don't you got to go to work? Sitting there watching me just do the same thing over and over again.
Right. So that was dope. But yeah, man, it's time for You Can Only Pick 3.
Oh shit.
Let's go. Boom.
What do we got here?
But yeah, I agree, man. Demon Slayer it's great. It's a great show. Just Demon Slayer and My Hero, definitely 2 of my favorite shows right now.
Totally. I agree.
And the theme song to Demon Slayer is fire.
It is.
So good. When I first watched the very first episode of Demon Slayer, that's kind of what hooked me on it. All classics.
Wait a minute now. What are we doing here?
It's a lot of old goodies on there.
Shit.
Let's go.
Shit.
You Can Only Pick 3. We got mad classics on there. Really only classics.
Yeah,
some
man.
old stuff, some old good 90s.
Fuck.
All
Okay.
90s. All 90s.
Let me just stop.
When did Akira come out?
I mean, it's 80s, but it didn't really get popping in America until 90s.
We'll lie and say it's 90s.
Yeah.
All 90s
Akira,
classics here.
I think it dropped in like 84 in Japan, but it didn't come over to America for a while. All right, man, let's get it popping, bro. So the first thing we got here, top left-hand side, Dragon Ball Z. We all know about that. Foundational. Most of our first animes, not mine, but probably yours.
Yep.
That was judgmental.
That was
as fuck.
so... That was so judgmental.
Right, super.
And it was
actually,
like kind of
goddammit.
passive.
It
It was a little passive.
I learned about anime because fucking, I'm 3 years older than most of you guys. Right, I'm out here.
Man.
Yeah, bro. Noveliss and I both realized that we are older than most of the people in our Discord, and it is not cool.
Hey, man. That's all right, man. We old.
Yeah.
Ye old, we old.
It's true. All right, man. So then we got the original 90s Baki, which I actually
Let's
rewatched
go.
recently.
See, that. Well, now you got me wanting to watch Flame of Recca, but
And Baki was cold, bro.
I am thinking about. It's either gonna be that or the original Baki. I watched the original. I watched the original Baki a few years ago, but I'm totally in for watching
because
it again.
you kind of need it. You need it for the new Baki.
Yeah,
and
well, the new Baki's not good, and I'm tired of people. I'm tired of all these. I'm so tired of people. Like, there's people on this earth that have never seen the old one.
Yeah, it's not even close,
bro. I don't like that animation with the new one with the weird 3D cell shading like looking. I don't like it. I think it sucks. Yeah. The old Baki, fire. Come on, man. The show opens with young buzz cut red hair Baki literally fighting like 100 people.
Who wants the smoke?
That's all the show is. Right. Is just fighting and tournaments and fighting and tournaments and fighting and tournaments and fighting.
That's all.
That's awesome.
The original. I mean, I have. So I'll tell you. I'll put it to you like this: watching the original Baki puts it like makes you. I don't know if it makes you appreciate, but it puts the new Baki into perspective. It's like, okay, I see what they're doing at least.
Yeah.
The new Baki, I think some of the fights are good, but the story is really batshit crazy, bro. Like it's insane.
I just don't like the way it looks, so I can't watch
like that shit either. It's I mean, so have you watched the third season or whatever the new one was?
I watched all of them except the newest one.
Okay, bro.
But I probably won't even watch it because I really don't. I don't like it.
This new one, the newest season wasn't good.
Yeah, Baki's a really good manga though. Super good manga. If you are into reading manga, you should read the Baki manga. It's really good
for sure. Then we got Yu Hakusho, which I've
been picking up all episodes.
Right. So we know that's been kind of refreshed. I famously, bro, the ending theme of or was that the intro, the one that had that moment where it's so 90s, dog, where like they do like the clock, like tick tock, and like shows tick, the. Tick. Do you remember? Is that the ending or the beginning?
I think it's because you know what? One thing about Yu Hakusho is this is the first show I've ever watched in both. I like the sub and the dub, so I literally, when it's like an episode where there's not like some crazy like main fight going on, I will just put it on the dub, and then when it's something I'm like locked into, I put it on the sub. So I literally watched it in both because they're both
nice.
It might be the best English dub ever.
Oh, it's better than Shampoo and Bebop?
Shampoo, Bebop, Yu Hakusho, and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I think those are the best. Well, obviously Dragon Ball. I think those are the best English dubs of all time.
I actually think Dragon Ball's. Dragon Ball. Yes, Dragon Ball Z. I don't like their dub. I think their dub sucks.
Yeah.
I don't like I don't know. Never mind. This is a whole different subject. Yeah. I hate the Japanese voice of Goku and Gohan.
Me too.
But I get the cultural thing. I'm not Japanese, so I'm not gonna get it. But whatever.
Right.
But anyways, yeah. So Yu Hakusho, classic. Then we got Ninja Scroll, bro. Come on, dog. Like, I mean, this is the second anime.
Dang, now I'm realizing, what am I doing?
I don't know, bro. I tried to tell you to just relax, man. Just let it come to you. You ain't got to force it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let the game come to you, bro. You came out the gate and started heat checking and shit. Just relax. Set a couple screens.
Watch in the gym and shot a 3.
Right. Get you a layup. Get to the foul line a little bit. Shit. Watch the ball go through a couple of times. Just, it'll come together. Go back and revisit some of the classics, and we'll see how you feel. You got me convinced though. I may have to recheck out Yu Hakusho. I don't know that it would have the potential to crack my top 5, but it is worth revisiting. See, obviously Akira. Okay, so my first keeper is Akira.
Let's go.
So, man, it's still my favorite anime movie of all time. That's the first experience that I had with anime. It not only did it help me with my anime love, it also like introduced me to cyberpunk, which is another genre that I'm really into. Not just the game, but like the actual genre of cyberpunk. Shout out to Ghost in the
I'm
Shell.
glad you reiterated that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, Cyberpunk is more like basically the game Cyberpunk is akin to.
Well, yeah, but I genuinely don't. There's people who.
Oh no.
Cyberpunk is a thing. It's like
bro, it's like
a genre.
So if you have a game called Cyberpunk 2077, it's almost the same thing as saying like martial arts film 2015. like it's literally a genre of media, not just like books, games. It's an aesthetic. Facts. Even though we hate that word, but it is an aesthetic.
No, right.
A culture.
Like, yeah, I could Ghost in the Shell, Blade Runner. These are Cyberpunk.
The best way it's an oversimplification, but the best way to think about Cyberpunk is think about high tech meeting with low life. So like. That's like we see a lot of high tech shit where it's like, oh, high tech and like a bunch like a super like Star Trek, right? High tech and like a utopian society. But imagine if the gangbangers got the high tech shit. Right. That's what Cyberpunk is. Which is, in my opinion, a little bit more. And I love Star Trek, but that's a little bit more interesting.
A little more interesting.
All right, so then we got Kenshin. Man, this okay.
Dog, I know, bro. I'm sorry. I don't know what the heck I was.
I don't know why you did this, bro. Like, what are you doing?
No, I'm having trouble accepting that I even made this song.
Okay, so you already know how I feel about Kenshin.
I see you right, bro. Sometimes I'll just be like flying off the handle, and I just be, oh, this is dope. Let's put this in. Oh, this is a good one. Let's add that. I think I just overdid it this time.
So I think I'm ready to beat for Kenshin to be my second keeper even.
Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. I got it. All right. I got it. Enough bullshit and I got it. So Kenshin, my second keeper. Shout out to Ghost in the Shell. I love Ghost in the Shell. It's in my top 5 movies.
I gotta watch that movie again too.
It's
I used to really like it. I haven't seen it in a long time.
There are a couple of scenes that are just absolutely god tier in terms of, and I'm not just talking about animation wise. I'm just talking about like film wise or like jaw dropping.
Same with Akira, man.
Yeah, like absolutely stunning. Yeah, the only thing that I think that you might not like about Ghost in the Shell is that there's a little bit too much talking in that shit. Yeah, them niggas be getting cerebral on your ass for a while.
I used to like it though. I probably haven't seen it again. Like I haven't seen it in a really long time.
But there are a couple of there are like 3 or 4 fights, and they're all incredible.
Yeah,
they're all super super cool. However, that being said, it's just outside. My first cut, or not my first cut, but it's just outside the top 3. Shout out to Gundam Wing. A Toonami 90s staple,
man.
I think even though I had known about Gundam, but Gundam been around since like the 70s, but this was my first Gundam experience, and it was definitely the one that was. This was not the one with the shining finger.
G Gundam.
G Gundam was also a shonen, but Gundam isn't
shining finger.
So Gundam isn't a shonen cartoon or a shonen anime, but
take this,
right?
My heart.
That nigga was intense. G Gundam and Gundam Wing were both shonen versions of
the Gundam universe,
which was good.
Yeah, it was dope.
All right, man, I'm gonna lose some points here, but I never finished Evangelion, so
wow.
I watched like half of it, and bro, that shit's fucking like I get it.
Yeah, it's political, sweaty.
I get why people feel how they feel about Evangelion, and I think I will like it, but I never finished it.
You should. I think you would love that show.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I do think so, but I never finished it. I got to the point where it
randomly got hyped again, like probably last year.
It came out on Netflix.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I got to the point where it started to get really cerebral, and I was like, okay, there's something to this. But let me revisit this when I got time to go there. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely another one of those shows that you'll probably like as an adult.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so going back then, if I got to pick my number 3, I got to go with Ninja Scroll, man. And yes, Dragon Ball Z.
Whoa, you didn't pick Dragon Ball.
Not gonna. I mean, look,
that's the greatest anime ever, Hero. What are you doing?
Not gonna be able to do it. I think honestly, and Dragon Ball is always gonna have a place in my heart. It's a pillar, a pioneer. But as I'm getting older, I'm starting to distance myself more and more from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Like I think that I'm not gonna say a lot of niggas be on Facebook talking about like, oh, it was mid. Like, no, it was.
No,
good.
it wasn't mid.
It was great for its time, and
just because you evolved, your taste evolved.
Like none of this shit that we watch now would be anything without Dragon Ball Z.
Right.
However,
agreed.
As I go back to it, like nigga, I'm not about to go watch Kareem Abdul-Jabbar play and be excited about that.
Dog, I'm not about to go watch Bill Russell.
Right.
I just had to talk to one of my homies was saying how Bill Russell was the GOAT, and I was like,
hell no.
No, but I have a good defense now.
What's that?
I said, tell me about your favorite Bill Russell play right now.
Right.
What'd he do? What happened?
Look, I'm about to piss all of our uncles off right now. Bill Russell would not make the NBA right now.
Bruh.
He was a 6'9" point like.
Dog, there was like
center.
10 teams in the NBA at the time.
Get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry. I love Bill Russell.
Excuse
Legend.
me, math teacher.
Right. Fucking milkman.
Excuse me,
Watch
milkman. I'm about to grab 30 rebounds and then go smoke a carton of cigarettes after the game.
Right, bro. Yeah, so yeah, that's gonna be my top 3.
Cats was like drinking beer at halftime.
Right, fucking doing their taxes, timeouts with one of them calculators with the fucking thing that you gotta like.
And the weird like like a bingo hat visor
right?
with the
and the receipt be coming out that motherfucker. Like nigga, fuck out of here.
Oh,
so yeah,
boy.
man, top 3 gonna be Akira, Kenshin, and Ninja Scroll. That middle row. Boom.
Boom. All right, man, it's my turn to walk the plank. Let's see what we got here. So what we got here? First, we got Dragon Ball Z. Look, man, like you said, classic. I love Dragon Ball Z. None of the shows that we like now would be here without Dragon Ball. So
Facts.
Shout out to Dragon Ball Z. Loved it. Don't act like you didn't race home and wait to see what's gonna happen next. Also, Dragon Ball was my first like tapes, going by the tapes, finding the tapes, talking to some shady teenagers.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Getting the uncut
yeah.
Japanese dubs or the Japanese subs back.
Bruh, do you remember this? I like the music on the Japanese ones, bro.
It was real. It was kind of grimy a little bit.
Yeah, it was a little dirty.
Yeah.
Sound like somebody was sampling some old vinyl or something.
Yeah. I know exactly
it was
what
dope.
you mean.
The second, then we got the original Baki, which we just talked about. Classic.
Super fire.
Super fire. If you don't need a cerebral storyline, you just want somebody just trying to be good at fighting and just fights. Also, the thing about Baki that's dope is it's like, it is fights in tournaments, but the pacing, like the show moves really quickly. It's not very slow. So
also, bro, it's you are made to think that Baki's father is the antagonist, but he kind of like, they got a weird ass relationship.
yeah,
where
they do.
He kind of like wants that nigga to succeed a little bit, but also
like
wants
wants
to
to beat the crap out of him.
It's really interesting.
Weird dynamic between him and his dad. Then we got the show that I just bigged up, gave so many props to it. Went back and rewatched the Yu Hakusho. Love it. Characters, fights, animation, music, just style. Love it so much. Classic, awesome. Also, shout out to Genkai, like one of the dopest old like master characters of all time. Then we got Ninja Scroll, man, which coincidentally I literally just watched it this morning. Ninja Scroll, fire, super classic. Jube, so dope, man. Oh man, I remember this was. It's. I cannot believe that this is my first anime. Like what? Dog, in the first, literally maybe 9 or 10 minutes of this movie, you got a ton of people getting butchered by a spinning double blade boomerang weapon.
From a rock monster. Excuse me.
I'm sorry.
Beg your pardon.
Literally precipitation of blood in the forest. Then you get a guy, get both his arms pulled off by the rock monster. Then he drinks the blood from one of the arms that he pulled off. Mm-hmm. Then he takes this girl. You see some boobs. You see this guy basically try to rape this ninja girl. And
then a threat of necrophilia.
which is, Yeah. Then
Y'all niggas Google that shit. If
yep,
you don't.
go ahead.
Right.
And then after that, literally the next thing you see Kageto try to go tell the Shogun what's happening, and sex.
Right. You meet just like casual, aggressive
more sex and boobs.
And this nigga, I always thought it was funny that scene where like he was engaged in aggressive sexual intercourse while receiving the news and like was just completely stone faced, like not emotional at all. Like, what's your report? As if he's not engaged in coitus at the moment.
Yeah, but Ninja Scroll, fantastic. Again, just like we said, Dragon Ball. Without Ninja Scroll, a lot of your favorite sword samurai anime wouldn't be here either.
Nope.
Classic. Oh my, what? Then we got Akira, Akira, classic, awesome, love it. One of my favorite anime films ever. So good. You already talked about a lot, but it's just, I mean, it's perfect, man. It's awesome. Then we got Rurouni Kenshin, one of my all-time favorite characters, one of my all-time favorite shows, the Kyoto arc. One of the best anime arcs of all time. Love
I'm sorry.
it.
I forgot to put the proper respect on that nigga name. The motherfucking Hidokiri Batosai. Goddamn. Rurouni Kenshin. Himura Kenshin. Goddamn. The Manslayer.
Classic. I love this show so much. This is one of my shows, like, every year. I usually watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. I watch Samurai Champloo. I watch Kenshin, and I watch like Cowboy. Those are the shows that I watch like every year, all the time. Yep. Kenshin. What are we looking at? Okay, Kenshin. This is gonna be my first. Kenshin is gonna be my first keeper.
Yeah.
So I got my first keeper now. Boom. Then we got Ghost in the Shell. Fire. Love it. Haven't seen it in a really long time, so I definitely need to go back and revisit that one. I haven't seen it since I was probably a teenager. Then we got Gundam Wing.
Also, if you guys are fans of the cyberpunk genre, Akira, it will give you the world, but like the human augmentation part of the cyberpunk, Ghost in the Shell by far is like it's like
also Animatrix. Remember that?
Hell yeah!
Animatrix
Shout out to Animatrix.
Dope.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, Gundam Wing, Fire, Toonami, stable. One of the first. This was like Gundam Wing for me was like, it was like Kenshin, Gundam Wing, Dragon Ball Z, and like
Cowboy Bebop maybe.
I don't know if it was Bebop
or maybe
yet.
Outlaw Star.
Outlaw Star.
Yeah. Shout out to Outlaw Star.
Should have put that on here. Outlaw Star's fire. Very underrated. Super underrated. Really good show. That show's got a good English dub too, man.
It does. Greatest ending thing of all time. I've sampled it literally 1,000 times.
Outlaw Star's fire. Then last but not least, what is it? I can't see it from
That's
here.
Evangelion.
Then we got Neon Genesis Evangelion. Look, super political, sweaty. Really good show. Super dope animation. So I'm keeping Kenshin. All right, here we go. Now it's gonna get tough. My second keeper is going to be the show that I revisited. I loved it. It's gonna be Yu Hakusho. That's my second keeper. And my third keeper, this is gonna come down. This is gonna come down to Ninja Scroll, Akira, Baki, and Dragon Ball. Dog, damn. All right, here we go. My third keeper, I gotta keep it. I gotta keep it real, man. My third keeper is gonna be Ninja Scroll, dog.
It's gotta be, bro.
It's gotta be Ninja Scroll. Then I would have like Akira right there. So that's my three, man. Kenshin, Yu Hakusho, Ninja Scroll, all the classics. Boom.
Super solid.
That was kind of tough. All right, man. Let's go. Before we get into the top five, I want to ask you one question. What is a anime that is like, if you can think of an older one, anime that's just considered a classic that you either haven't seen or you just don't like it?
I mean, some really old ones. Like, these are like the animes that are like proverbial big brothers and uncles.
Yeah, like what's a classic anime that you just haven't seen? Let's stick with that because it's easy to do that you don't like.
A lot of the old school Gundam, like a lot of the old school mecha animes, like Pat Labor, Robotech, Gundam. What's the one? The Captain something.
The Gundam I think they're when you're a kid and you see a Gundam, you are expecting they're a lot more political than you're
this
thinking.
Shit is all like
it's the politics
like
and war.
All of it.
Yeah, like when you're a kid and you see it, you're thinking like, yo, like
these niggas about to fight.
These warriors, these robots about to be. Nah, not unless you're watching like G Gundam is.
Well, that's because they were at that point they were catering to us.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So like, yeah, a lot of those old mech animes, Pat Labor. So Appleseed I never saw. That was another cyberpunk joint. But I remember Appleseed always looking like it was about to be sweet as fuck. Yeah. That shit used to look cold, but I never saw
I specifically remember seeing like at Blockbuster.
Yes.
Like
the typeface, the way it was written.
Yeah.
That shit looks sweet as hell,
I just used to think
dog.
it looked dope. I don't think I ever actually seen it.
I never seen it either. Okay, here's one that I think it would be dope, but I never actually saw it all the way through. Then the Ghost in the Ninja. Fuck.
What just happened?
I don't know. Fucking short circuit. The Fist of the North Star series.
Yeah,
the series. I only saw maybe one or two
that's
episodes.
A good one. Okay.
I never saw the whole series.
That's a good one.
What about you?
I gotta go with Code Geass, man.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people love Code Geass. I hear and get talked about. I have never seen that.
Yeah,
I've never watched Code Geass.
Gantz is another one that's like that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those kind of gun. I don't like guns.
I don't either,
so
bro.
Like
the only, like really just Trigun is kind of the only like a gun
or Cowboy Bebop,
I guess. But I still don't even think of it like that kind of show.
Yeah, I think there was like I don't know. I don't remember because I don't like guns, so it doesn't really stick with me.
Right. All right, man. Let's get it.
Boom.
Top 5 of the day. We're gonna stay talking about some anime. While back, way longer than I thought when I had to look it up. We did talk about our favorite like anime tournaments, right? Mm-hmm. And now we talked about anime fights before, but let's keep it straight up tournament. I love a good tournament arc. What are your top 5 favorite anime tournament fights? Fights gotta be from a tournament style showdown. What are your top 5 favorite anime tournament fights?
All right, here we go. So, I got no honorable mentions today, but I'll jump right into the top 5.
Let's get it.
Number 5. I'm gonna go to the Chunin exams.
Okay.
And we're gonna go Naruto versus Neji.
That's such a good one.
That was one of the first times where you kind of
like Naruto's sweet.
He got a little upside there. He came into the draft, you know what I'm saying? High upside, wasn't quite ready yet.
Questionable attitude.
Right, questionable off the court issues. You know what I'm saying? Raw, still really raw. A lot of natural talent, but just not quite. Need a couple years. And this was his first game in the G League where he goes for like 35.
And then you're like, maybe he belongs in the league.
This nigga can hoop.
Also, Naruto was a goon as a kid, bro.
I think this is for sure.
I think this is the first time we see Uzumaki Barrage too, where Uzumaki Barrage. That was cold.
And could you make the argument that Neji wasn't taking him seriously? Maybe, but that nigga still lost fair and square.
Yeah, well, he started to take him serious once
he started getting pummeled.
He's got a taste of them hands.
And then also, Naruto showing a little basketball IQ with the way he finished him with like the underground shadow clone. That was really cool. So yeah, I really enjoyed that because I was getting really frustrated with Naruto up until that point. During my first run through of Naruto, Naruto had to grow on me. Like he was an example of like, okay, main character sucks but like we still like I remember there was an arc, I can't remember it was in Naruto, and like I don't remember who they were fighting, but like both Kakashi, some other strong ass ninja, and Sakura were on the scene, and Sakura says, "Our only hope now is to wait for Naruto." Nigga, for what? Why? What the fuck we waiting on him for, nigga? Like, he's not ready yet, right? I was getting really frustrated with how far behind he was. Yeah. But at this point, once the Chunin exams hit, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know
exactly. Bro, what the fuck? Why?
Why are we waiting on him? He's not ready to do
Kakashi, handle that nigga by yourself, please. Because we all know you can.
Because you're sweet.
So they did this thing, like, and this is a shonen thing in general, where like the obviously stronger character will wait for the main character,
bruh.
just to develop him, just to give him an opportunity. Like, bro, win.
Yo,
right
there
quick.
was a time, Kakashi and Hidan versus Kakashi and Shikamaru versus Hidan and Kakuzu.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite anime fights ever. One of my favorite Naruto fights. One of my favorite arcs from Naruto. The Akatsuki suppression mission where Kakashi goes with Shikamaru's team to avenge Asuma's death.
Yeah.
Fire, and the fight is amazing. And
we
it's
about to
like
kill this nigga, bro.
literally, and the fight is so good, and Kakashi's like awesome in this fight. This was really him being my favorite character. Like, this was the fight where you finally got to see, like, yo, this dude is, he's legit. And so Shikamaru handles Hidan, Kakashi is handling Kakuzu, and they still somehow found a way to make it about Naruto mastering the Rasen Shuriken.
Right.
And then it's like, I love Naruto, bro, but like, dog, they were totally taking care of this. And
Get
then
out of the way, bro.
And then they turned it into like, oh, well, now we got to wait for Naruto to get here so he can finish him off with the.
No, why? What for? I hate that trope, bro.
And that's literally what happened. Like
the one I remember that scene, that arc, and I remember thinking it was really funny how, because a lot of people were kind of trying to talk Shikamaru off the edge a little bit, off the ledge, and then that nigga Kakashi was like, "Hey, I heard you was trying to." Hey,
we about to go.
You trying to go right now? Because Kakashi was like, "Nah, fuck that, bro."
Bro.
That was my man's that they just killed.
Right.
Bro. Like, come on.
I'm down too. Let's go.
Right.
And then, bro, they just have like the plan was off the chain. It was so sweet.
Man, that was like, Naruto really has some moments where it's like really fantastic.
Yeah, bro. That's one of the best arcs, and it's slept on. A lot of people don't talk about it.
I agree. All right, so we're gonna bend, and I'm not bending the rules. It's a tournament, but it's a different kind of fight. We're gonna go with Food Wars.
Let's go.
And we're gonna go during the autumn elections. We're gonna go Saburo Mima. Fucking. This is Japanese pronunciation. They put the emphasis on a different syllable.
Yeah.
So
Saburo.
it's Subaru Mimasaka. Okay, is it? Okay, whatever. We're American. Mimasaka. Anyways, versus Yukihiro Soma. So the reason why this was so dope is because he was like a copycat. That was his gimmick. Was that like his style was that he would figure out who he was gonna have his Shokugeki against, and he would stalk them. He would just stalk them relentlessly and like learn everything about them, learn all their recipes, and basically like prepare the same thing that they were gonna prepare but do it better. And to the point where he would like start dressing and talking like the person. It was so funny, bro. So he had to go against Yukihiro Soma, who knew his whole gimmick. And he has to come up, anime shonen, they come up with some harebrained way to trick him at the last second, and he throws in like a little extra garnish that Saburo didn't think about, and ends up winning the Shokugeki. It actually ends up becoming kind of cool because they ended up kind of teaming up with him on like the good guy team because of his ability to basically cook like anybody. Right. He became a pretty valuable. He was still weird, like niggas still didn't fuck with him, but he was an interesting ally. So yeah, that's my number 4. Number 3, we're gonna go to Dragon Ball. We're gonna go Goku versus Jackie Chun, aka Roshi, in the first Budokai tournament. Where Jackie Chun wins, but this is kind of the first moment where Roshi was like, "Wait a minute, this nigga kind of whooping my ass a little bit. Like, I gotta stop fucking around, or he's gonna actually beat me." Because this was like before you knew what Goku was gonna become, right? We think about Goku being leaps and bounds stronger than Master Roshi now, but at the moment, Master Roshi was the man. Like he was the strongest person that we had seen up until that point. Although you do find out in the second tournament that like I can't remember how. I think Tien Shinhan beats Roshi.
Tien Shinhan.
And but I remember Roshi was commenting
Tien
to himself.
Was so cool, man. When they first introduced him,
he was a little asshole, but he was cocky as fuck, bro. Like he was like disgustingly arrogant. And this is coming from me saying that.
I was about to say, he should be your favorite character,
right? Man. But he ends up commenting that like, wow, like at this point Goku may even be stronger than me. But it was just such a good fight because that in terms of like the martial arts, they was throwing punches and kicks, and it was just a really, really dope animated. It was really, really well animated. So shout out to them for that one. We're gonna go back to Naruto here for my number 2.
Let's go.
I imagine this is probably gonna be on your.
You already know. I already know what it is, dog.
Gotta be Gaara versus Rock Lee.
Let's go.
The dropping of the ankle weights, the opening of the gates. You know.
Oh.
Just that underdog, man. I mean, Rock Lee is one of the classic underdogs.
Bro, Rock Lee is he's the underdog in Naruto, not Naruto.
Did you tell? Somebody told me that the show might have been better if he was the main character or something like that.
I mean, is it wrong though? Like,
I mean, he fits the underdog. Like he
bro,
deserved to get.
I
wins.
love Naruto, and don't get me wrong, everybody already knows it's one of my favorite shows. I love him too as the main character, but he wasn't an underdog, bro. Like he was kind of the one who he had it all along. Like he was strong. He had
in Shippuden, he was flat out like over. Like once he beat Pain, it was a wrap. Like, niggas wasn't fucking with Naruto at all
for a long time,
right? Until the end of the series.
I don't even know why they treated him like people were.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
And not until the end of the series did he really have any problems. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
It would have been really cool to see, because you remember we talked about Neji being the third. He would have been the guy, right? He would have been the third guy. It would have been cool, and I know they wrote the story. They needed to get rid of Neji because the story only had room for those two, like the two brothers, right?
Trash.
It would have been cool to see Rock Lee step up into that third man role.
Yep, another guy who got forgotten.
Criminally.
Kuwabara looks like Blake Griffin, by the way.
He does. He is Blake Griffin.
Yeah,
all right. And then my number 1.
Or his English voice. You're Messi.
Oh my God, dog. That guy was like every like bully character in the 90s. Every bully character.
Every single one.
I think his voice was Yajirobe from Dragon Ball Z.
One.
Same ass voice, bro.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So my number 1, I got to go back to our original top 5 of the anime tournament arcs. Anime fights of all time. This was, I think, my number 1, and to this day, still one of my favorites. Got to be Deku versus Todoroki
Fire
in the athletic, the UA tournament, bro. Like that final scene was just like
some of the best animation ever.
Just jaw dropping. Now, I will say, you know what anime comes close to that level of fight quality? It's fucking Fire Force, bro.
Ooh, I wasn't expecting you to say
I'm telling you, dog. Not every single fight, but some of the fights really.
Yeah, you said it's very well animated.
Every single fight in Fire Force, especially in the first season, is like crazy high quality. And there are a few that are easily on par with that last fight with Todoroki versus Deku. So it's certainly worth watching. It's really, really dope.
Boom. Gonna have to check it out, dog.
So yeah, man, that's the top 5. We got Naruto versus Neji, Saburo Mimasaka versus Yukihiro Soma, Goku versus Jackie Chun, Gaara versus Rock Lee, and Deku versus Todoroki. Boom.
I love it. All right, man, let's get it. Boom. Coming in at number 5. I'm going to get started off early. No honorable mentions. Coming in at number 5, I'm going Gon versus Hisoka from Heaven's Arena tournaments in Hunter x Hunter.
That's a good fight.
Awesome. And such good animation. This fight was so dope. This was the Hunter exam was really
the clown
guy,
right?
the creepy guy. So what happened, the Hunter exam arc, they had this round in the Hunter exam where you had to take the other person's badge, like, in order to move on or whatever. And Gon, it was so dope because Gon was like stalking. He was like stalking, basically Hisoka, and Hisoka was stalking somebody else while Gon was like stalking him to get his badge. And Hisoka was like about to kill this guy, and Gon uses his fishing pole, and he pulls his badge. And when he pulls his badge, he's just like. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like, anime bloodlust, like about to kill him.
Right.
So basically, he takes his badge, and then it's really dope. And he basically tells him like, "I'm gonna punch you in the face one day, and then I'll give it back to you." You know what I'm saying? And then they have this fight, and Gon finds out that his Hisoka is at Heaven's Arena, and they have this fight, bro. And the fight, and you know what? I haven't seen Hunter x Hunter in a long time. It is one of my favorite shows. I could be getting this wrong. I'm not sure if Gon. I know Gon takes his badge, but I'm not sure if the badge situation is the other way around. I'm not sure if Gon gives him his badge back or if Hisoka gives Gon his badge back for hitting him, whatever. Anyway, they have this fight, dog. The fight's awesome. It's animated so good because Hisoka's basically like, you can't touch me. So it's like, he's just like blocking every punch. Every punch he throws, Gon's like doing all these crazy like feints and fake outs trying to hit him, and he's just blocking everyone. So then he lifts up this stone, and then he like kicks it into a bunch of pieces, and then he's like hiding behind the stones, and then he comes out and he blasts him in the face and then hands him his badge back like, yeah, I hit you in the face. So that fight is awesome. It's my favorite fight from Hunter x Hunter. It was really dope. Coming in at number 4, this is a deep cut here. I got Ash's Greninja versus Sawyer Sceptile from the Kalos League semifinals and Pokemon XYZ. This fight was amazing.
Yeah, I remember you showed me that.
I still think to this day, I think this is the best animated Pokemon fight ever. Ash's Greninja versus Sceptile. Look, man, Sawyer was like getting under my skin, bro. He was like that little, I told you the way that happens is like, Sawyer's like, oh, hey, Ash. He's like this little, you know, pipsqueak. Yeah. And he looks up to Ash, and he always looks up to Ash, and he'd be like, we're taking notes when Ash is battling. Keep in mind, like, XYZ, Kalos League Ash is the GOAT. Like, this is Ash at the top of his game. Like, he's not stupid. He's like a ridiculous. His strategies are crazy because he's just such a genius at battling. But this is also, remember I told you, you kind of find out that Ash is a bit of a battle junkie, dog. This dude literally runs into some dude in the hallway and like battles him and almost forfeits his tournament match, dog. What are you doing? So, but anyway, Sawyer looks up to Ash and all the whole show, like he just looks up to him, takes notes, is like super just astounded about how good he is. Then they run into each other in this one city, and Ash is like, he's like, oh man, he's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh, I'm just on my way to the Kalos League. And Ash is like, oh, you too? He's like, cool, man, I just got one more badge to get before I can get there. And then Sawyer's like, oh, I already have this badge. I already have all the badges necessary. And Ash is like, what? And like you just get annoyed because like Sawyer surpasses him somehow, and you're just like, dog, what? Ash been out here grinding,
right?
And then they battle one time, and Sawyer like beat him. It was like a friendly battle, but you really like, dog, they better not make Ash lose. You know they be holding him.
Yeah, they do, bro.
So Ash and Sawyer battle in the semifinal. Ash wins, but the matchup, because Sawyer's got the Sceptile and Ash has the Greninja, and the fight is amazing. So that's my number 4. And then of course Ash goes to the finals and loses. Whatever, he should have won that league, but he doesn't. Then we got number 3. I'm going with my favorite Yu Hakusho character, Hiei, versus Bui from the Dark Tournament. Now, this was, in my opinion, this was the greatest animated fight in Yu Hakusho. This is where they really got like freaky with the animation. It was nuts. It's a lot of power upping and like crazy, you know, like colossal attacks, and Hiei really showing you the dragon of the darkness flame. But it's amazing. It's amazing. And Bui was a sweet character too, man. Like Bui was dope. He had like the crazy armor on, and then he takes it off, and he's like this really strong character.
He looks like the brother Kinshiro's brother from
Yeah, he
Fist of the
does
North
from Fist of the North Star. He does.
Raul, is that his name?
I think so. But yeah, this fight was amazing, and I just loved the way that it was animated. It's one of my favorite fights ever, and he is my favorite character from Yu Hakusho.
Man,
So
look at this peak 90s.
dog,
ass
this
anime.
peak 90s cutting edge animation, so sweet, dog. So that's gonna be my number 3. Coming in at number 2, I'm going with another Yu Hakusho fight from the Dark Tournament. I'm going Yusuke versus Toguro. Hey man, to this day, bro, I don't know if there's a better built fight than that.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
The build to Yusuke versus Toguro is possibly the best, like, bro, it might be the best build up ever. Like,
Some
it's
WrestleMania type
just
shit.
on some WrestleMania, like old action movie, like, bro, Genkai's master dies and it's like right before. It's just an unbelievable build up. Togoro's like the big villain, and you've been waiting for this showdown. So it was
with the muscle collarbones.
dog. It was super powerful. It was really dope. Just amazing build up. Like I said, one of the best built fights ever. Loved it. But my number 1 favorite anime tournament fight ever has got to be Rock Lee versus Gaara. Children exams, Naruto, the dropping of the ankle weights, seeing how fast Lee was. Lee was the first person to get a hit in on Gaara. It was really dope. And then like also like let's go. Like you can be like proud of a character that doesn't get the W. You know what I'm saying? Like he was the MVP of this. Really, Lee was the MVP in my opinion of the whole the original Naruto. Like he had. If we're just talking original Naruto, I think he's got the 2 best fights. Not Shippuden, but the original, like Lee versus Gaara and Lee versus Kimimaro, where he's doing the drunken boxing. Like he for sure was the MVP of the original Naruto. So that's my number 1, man. It's my number 5, Gon versus Sokka from Heaven's Arena tournament in Hunter x Hunter. My number 4, Ash's Greninja versus Sawyer Sceptile from Pokemon Kalos League in Pokemon XYZ. My number 3, Hiei versus Bui, Dark Tournament, Yu Hakusho. Number 2, Yusuke Urameshi versus Toguro from the Dark Tournament. And my number 1, Lee versus Gaara. My favorite anime tournament fight. One of my favorite anime fights of all time. Awesome.
Let's go.
Boom. Episode 70, dog. We're back.
In the books.
Listen, man. Y'all keep listening. We appreciate y'all. Join the Discord, man. I'm gonna post this. Shout out to everybody in the Discord. Shout out to the homie Rails. He just dropped a fire new project. Me and him have a joint on there called Lyrical Chinchuriki. Working on little anime visuals for that now. And look, man, I got a lot of new music done. I'm just finalizing some things and just waiting for the opportunity to release some new stuff, man. But there's a lot of new great stuff coming out. So, man, I appreciate y'all. And follow us on Instagram, man, at the SwordCast Pod. Follow the podcast on Instagram. We post the top 5 all the time, everything like that. Thank y'all for listening.
Hey, yo.
Episode 70. Peace.
Check it.
Welcome back, hero.
My word is my sword, Hokage Yambatosai, pulling the blades out of the forge, yo. Prior to my knowledge of the Force, was thinking Jedi, but through obtaining holocrons from both sides, I'm under gray skies. Everything that glitter ain't kyber crystal, my mind will lift you. In this time we shine together, disarm your pistol, yo. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash.